Before you brush this off, hear me clearly. Some money does not help you. Some money follows you home like smoke. It sits in your wallet, in your account, in your house, and then little by little things begin to break. Bills grow teeth, peace leaves the room, opportunities dry up for no reason you can explain. Have you ever taken a gift, a loan, a repayment, an inheritance, even a simple transfer, and then watched your finances turn strange right after? Not slowly, not over years. I mean within weeks or months, as if that money carried a hidden weight. Most people never stop to ask what came attached to it. They see numbers and think money is neutral. It is not. Money carries the mood of the hand that gives it, the history of the way it was earned, and the intention hidden behind the smile. Tonight I want to show you 3 kinds of people you should never take money from, no matter how helpful it looks in the moment. Stay with me, because the third one fools almost everyone, and if you have already accepted money from one of these people, I will also show you how to break its hold and clear your path before more damage is done. For many years, I was taught something that most modern people never hear. Money is not just paper. It is not just numbers on a screen. It is stored effort, stored emotion, stored intention. Every hand it passes through leaves a mark on it. The world tells you money is clean the moment it arrives. Ancient wisdom says the opposite. It says the spirit behind the money matters just as much as the amount. That is why 2 people can receive the same exact sum and have completely different outcomes. One person receives it and builds. Another receives it and starts leaking from every side. Arguments increase. Repairs appear. Deals fall apart. Sleep becomes uneasy. You may call that coincidence, but after enough years, after enough stories, after seeing the same pattern repeat with different families in different places, coincidence becomes a weak explanation. Listen carefully here, because this could explain something you have been carrying for a long time. Sometimes the issue is not that you are lazy, not that you are cursed, not that you made no effort. Sometimes something entered your life wearing the mask of help, but it brought bitterness, dishonesty, or control with it. And when money arrives with one of those shadows attached, it rarely comes alone. Keep listening, because in a moment I am going to show you exactly how to recognize it before it enters your home. I remember being young and hearing a warning that stayed with me like a mark on stone. I was shown an old envelope filled with money that had been sealed away for decades. It had never been spent. Not once. The reason was simple and frightening. It came from someone who gave it with silent resentment, someone who smiled on the outside while carrying anger on the inside. The money was accepted out of politeness. That seemed harmless at the time, but soon after, loss began showing up in strange and separate ways, each hit small by itself, yet together almost equal to the gift that had been received. That was the lesson. The amount was not the point. The spirit inside the transfer was the point. I was told to remember 3 kinds of people and never take money from them unless I wanted to invite their condition into my own life. I wish I could tell you I followed that warning perfectly. I did not. Years later, I accepted money from someone whose way of making wealth had always felt crooked to me. I told myself it was still useful. I told myself money is money. Within months, expected deals collapsed, promised funds disappeared, and the loss almost matched what I had accepted. That moment changed the way I looked at every offer, every favor, every gift dressed up as kindness. So if something in your life became unstable after a transfer that did not feel right, do not ignore that feeling. Your spirit often knows before your mind admits it. Let me say something that may hit hard, but it needs to be said. Not every gift is a blessing. Not every payment is clean. Not every financial offer is meant to lift you. Some offers are carrying pain from the giver. Some are carrying damage from the way the money was earned. Some are carrying a hook that will pull on you later when you least expect it. And most people accept them because they do not want to look rude, ungrateful, or difficult. That is how trouble gets invited in. People think declining money is always foolish. It is not. Sometimes refusing is the most protective decision you can make for your peace, your household, and your future. A person can hand you money and also hand you resentment. A person can give you help and also give you their hidden demand. A person can transfer wealth and also transfer the dirt that came with it. If that sounds extreme, stay with me a little longer. Once I name these 3 kinds of people, you will probably recognize at least one from your own life. And if you do not panic. This is not about fear. It is about discernment. It is about knowing that what enters your life matters. It is about understanding that you are allowed to protect your gate. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to choose peace over quick relief. And in a world where everything is instant, that pause may save you more than you realize. The first person you should never accept money from is the bitter giver. This is the person who gives with a tight heart. They may be family, They may be a friend. They may be someone close enough to know exactly how to make their help feel heavy. They give because they feel forced. They give because they want to appear generous. They give because they want to remind you that they had more and you had less. Outwardly, the money looks like support. Inwardly, it is loaded with irritation, pride, or quiet anger. And that inner state matters. Money given with resentment rarely lands softly. It brings tension with it. You may notice strange sadness around what should have been good news. You may feel guilty instead of grateful. You may feel pressure, shame, or emotional confusion every time you think about it. That is because the transfer was never pure. It was not really giving. It was emotional dumping disguised as generosity. If you sense this kind of energy, protect yourself early. A simple refusal is enough. You can say, "Thank you for thinking of me. I truly appreciate it, but I cannot accept this." That is enough. You do not need a debate. You do not need to defend yourself. And if you are wondering whether you are overthinking it, ask yourself one honest question. Did their gift make you feel lighter, or did it make you feel smaller? That answer will tell you more than their words ever will. The second person you should never accept money from is the dishonest source. This one is dangerous because the money often looks impressive. It may come from someone successful, someone admired, someone who appears to always have more than enough. But deep down you know the money was built through deception, exploitation, cheating, manipulation, or harm. Maybe they lie in business. Maybe they profit by trapping weaker people. Maybe they take what is not theirs and call it cleverness. When money comes from that path, it carries that path. It does not become innocent just because it changed hands. People think if they did not commit the wrong themselves, they are safe. That is not always true. Sometimes by receiving the fruit, you participate in the stain, and the result is often confusion. Things stop flowing. Honest work feels blocked. Unexpected setbacks appear. Small accidents begin to multiply. It is as if your life rejects what does not belong in it. If money from a dishonest source is offered to you, do not get hypnotized by the amount. Dirty money can look powerful at first, but what it builds often cracks later. The right response can remain calm and respectful. You can say, "Your offer means something to me, but I have a personal rule. I only want money that comes to me through clean and honest paths." You do not need to accuse them. You do not need to expose them. The point is not to fight them. The point is to keep their history out of your house. The third person you should never accept money from is the controller, the one who gives in order to own part of your choices later. This may be the most common of all because the money can arrive wrapped in love, concern, or family duty. It may come from a parent who wants to keep you dependent, a relative who never gives without reminding you, a friend who pays today so they can pressure you tomorrow, a person who offers a loan, a gift, or support, but hidden inside it is a silent contract. They may never say the contract out loud. They do not need to. You will feel it. After the money arrives, your freedom becomes expensive. Suddenly they expect access, influence, obedience, loyalty, or silence. They want a vote in your marriage, your work, your home, your timing, your boundaries. That is not generosity. That is purchase. And many people discover it too late, after the transfer is already made and the emotional chain is around their neck. Listen to me carefully here. Money that comes with control is never cheap, even when it costs you nothing up front. You pay with peace. You pay with voice. You pay with independence. If you feel that trap opening, shut it early and shut it gently. Say, "I appreciate your offer more than I can say, but I need to handle this in my own way." That sentence may save your dignity. It may save your relationships. It may save years of invisible debt. Because some money does not just enter your account, it enters your decisions. Now, if you are hearing this and thinking, "What if I already accepted money like this?" then stay with me because this next part matters. There is a way to break the pattern. There is a way to close the door you opened without realizing it. The first step is awareness. From now on, every time money is offered outside your normal, honest work, pause before you touch it. Not after. Before. Ask yourself what lives inside this offer. Is there resentment here? Is there harm behind this? Is there control attached to this? A brief pause can protect you from a long season of regret. The second step is the graceful decline, and yes, grace matters. You do not need drama. You do not need to shame anyone. Quiet boundaries are still strong boundaries. The third step is redirection if you already accepted contaminated money in the past. Work out the amount as best you can. Then give the same amount or a meaningful portion of it, if that is what you can do right now, to a clean and unrelated good cause. This matters because what was received passively must now be redirected actively. That breaks the emotional grip. The fourth step is a private release. Stand alone. Put your hand over your heart and say in your own simple words that you are letting go of every harmful attachment that entered through money you should not have taken. Speak plainly. Mean it. The fifth step is to build fresh income through honest work and healthy exchange, so that what was toxic becomes smaller and smaller in your life until it has no power left at all. Do not rush past that, because many people want change without replacement. They want to reject harmful money but never build clean channels to take its place. That leaves fear in the gap. Clean money grows best in a life that values honest effort, clear agreements, and peaceful exchange. So after you remove what was wrong, you must strengthen what is right. Work that respects your dignity. Partnerships that do not drain your soul. Clients who do not make you feel dirty after being paid. Deals you can explain without lowering your voice. This is where a real shift begins. Within weeks, many people notice a different feeling around their finances. The air changes. The pressure eases. New ideas arrive. Delayed payments move. Better opportunities appear, not by magic, but because you are no longer mixing your path with the weight of someone else's darkness. And let me add something important here. This is not a call to become paranoid. Not every gift is bad. Not every loan is toxic. Not every family transfer hides a trap. There is still generosity in this world. There is still love in this world. There is still help that comes with clean hands and honest joy. The goal is not fear. The goal is discernment. Watch how your body responds. Clean money usually brings relief, not confusion. Clean money usually brings gratitude, not tension. Clean money does not make you feel trapped in someone else's story. If an offer brings peace, clarity, and respect, that is very different from an offer that makes your stomach tighten before you even say yes. I have seen what happens when people finally stop calling every offer a blessing just because it arrives in the form of money. A man kept taking small amounts from someone who secretly enjoyed seeing him need help. Every time he accepted it, he felt weak for days. Once he stopped, his finances did not become perfect overnight, but the constant instability began to settle. A woman received money from a family member whose life had been full of deception and hidden damage. She kept the money for years, but her home never felt at ease around it. When she finally redirected part of it and made a clear decision that only clean provision would remain in her life, the heaviness started lifting. A young couple took support that looked generous on the surface, but each gift came with opinions, interference, and emotional pressure. Their money improved only after they chose freedom over convenience. Notice the pattern. The turning point was not luck. The turning point was clarity. And that is why I am telling you this now, because some of you are not dealing with a money problem first. You are dealing with an access problem. You have allowed certain hands too close to your future. If this is speaking directly to your situation, do not ignore it. The next decision you make around money could either repeat the cycle or break it, and once you see the pattern, you cannot pretend not to see it anymore. There is also a modern danger that makes this problem worse than ever. Today, money moves too fast. A transfer comes in with one tap. A loan is offered in a message. A gift arrives through an app before you have had a single quiet second to think. Speed has replaced discernment. Convenience has replaced wisdom. People no longer sit with the question, what is this money carrying? They just accept and move on. But your life still feels the weight, even if your finger only touched a screen for 1 second. That is why the pause is now more important than ever. The pause protects you from urgency. The pause protects you from guilt. The pause protects you from smiling pressure and instant obligation. In this age, one of the strongest things you can do is slow down before receiving. Even a few moments of stillness can tell you the truth. If the offer makes you feel rushed, be careful. If it makes you feel emotionally cornered, be careful. If it seems too generous from someone whose heart has never been generous, be careful. Fast money is not always bad, but unexamined money is dangerous. Protecting your household today means learning to resist the click, the instant yes, the reflex that says any help must be good help. No. Some help is a doorway. Some help is a chain. Some help is a test of whether you are willing to trade tomorrow's peace for today's relief. That is why this teaching matters now more than ever. So let me leave you with this as clearly as I can. There are 3 kinds of people you must think twice about before taking money from: the bitter giver, the dishonest source, and the controller who gives to gain power over your future. If you remember only that, you will already avoid pain that many people never understand until it is too late. If you have taken money like this before, do not drown in regret. Clean the path, redirect what you can, release what you must, build what is honest. And from this day on, guard the gate of your household with more wisdom than before. You do not have to accept every offer. You do not have to buy peace with your own freedom, You do not have to call contaminated money a blessing just because it came wrapped in relief. Choose what lets you sleep. Choose what keeps your spirit clear. Choose what does not ask you to betray yourself after the transfer is complete. If you needed this message, take a second and let it settle. Really settle. Because once clean money becomes your standard, many confusing patterns begin to make sense, and many blocked roads begin to open. May every door in your life that was built on pressure close gently. May every honest path open wider. May your home know provision that brings peace, not tension. May your hands grow stronger in earning, wiser in receiving, and calmer in refusing what was never meant to stay.